See, the holiday is not about changing anything, because we're not the doer, we're not the controller, we're not the creator, we're not the chooser. We don't create our next thought or the next experience. Otherwise, we would only create pleasant experiences, and that's certainly not the case. We're not the creator, we're not the chooser, we're not the doer. So a holiday is about whatever's appearing, just for a moment, just relax the focus of attention and just see, oh, okay, I'm still here. I'm here. I'm the knowing of this thought. And then you just see life flows by. Life flows by itself without you adding resistance and argument and thinking there's something wrong with you. That's causing suffering. That belief causes suffering. The pleasant and unpleasant things come by are just pleasant and unpleasant experiences. That's what they are. We add on to it that there's a me, that there's something wrong with because I have an unpleasant experience. That's being, like you just said, it's being in the mind. It's just adding more thought to more thought, circulating. Right. So the only solution is just to stop for a moment, have a holiday, and be here. Be here. I know that I am now. I know. I'm the knowing. I'm not the experience. I'm the knowing of the experience. And then you just see that all these experiences come and go. And then when you're reconciled with the fact that all these experiences come and go, and that you're not the doer or the creator of any of them, then you stop arguing. And then that's peace, and that's freedom in my definition. Freedom in my definition is not that you're never going to have the feeling of a sense of self here, because even the feeling of this body right now is present right now. And I can say, well, then that means that there's a sense of self here. You could say that. I don't really see it that way. But what it really is just the feeling of something here now, happening now. Mm-hmm. And even on a holiday, you see that that feeling that's happening now here is only one of the millions of things that are happening now, like this and like that, and like these sounds, and then this feeling here. They're all equally happening now. And you are the knowing of all of that. But we get very personal and we say, well, this is separate and that's separate and that's it. But me, this feeling is who I am. I'm this. This is very special. This is the most special. But in truth, in the knowing itself, everything is equal. This cup, this feeling, those pillows, everyone on this call are all known equally. You see what I mean by that?
Oh, that's interesting, because that brings more of the that brings in more of the idea that nothing is separate, because the knowing is always the same and everything is equal.
The knowing is always the same, but we get very personal about a feeling of this body, which is fine. That's understandable. But we get personal to the pathological extreme of suffering a lot because of that feeling here, right? Mm-hmm. But in truth, if we just have a holiday, we see in truth, this feeling is only one of the manifold things that are happening now. Because in all of the senses are functioning, the sights, the sounds, the taste, the smells, they're all happening, and it's all known equally. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that way, you can say that there's no self. Even this feeling of so-called self here is not mean it's a self, really. That's still a belief, isn't it? Because also on a holiday, what you see, and in my experience personally, is that not only do I have a sense of feeling here or a sense of knowing, aware here, but it's not just limited, it's open. The knowing, let's be on a holiday now and see, the knowing is open, isn't it? Do you see what I mean by this, Brian? This is...
Yeah, it's infinite. It's everywhere.
Yeah, right. But it's not only here, is it, inside this head or something?
No, it's non-local.
Right. But when we believe it's local, we get very claustrophobic and personal, don't we? And then we actually believe and experience ourselves as being limited, this body-mind organism. That's all I am, this body-mind. because that's a belief. But on a holiday, we see all of a sudden the knowing is not limited, is it? It includes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now I'm seeing more succinctly the difference between identifying with the body and the knowing that's all inclusive.
That's correct. And that's what my work is about, is coming to know yourself in truth, which I say is true, in truth, here and now only. Nothing to do with the time-based self. There's two selves in this way. The time-based self, which is complete myth, it's not actual at all. There's no truth to the past stories. They don't exist now. And there's no truth to the future hopes and expectations. They don't exist now. But what does exist now is a feeling, but that feeling is only one of a billion other experiences happening right now, isn't it?